Today, you are going to have a recorded video for Tuesday, October 13th. The lesson that we are working on today is Greek and Latin roots. It's really important to understand Greek and Latin roots because they will help you decode certain words that you may not know the understanding of. And this will help you break it down and make these words simpler to understand if you simply don't know what they are, if you can't look them up, or things like that. Once you finish listening to this video and watching it, you're then going to complete a worksheet to test your knowledge on Greek and Latin roots, and then you will submit that to Canvas. So let's begin. So Greek and Latin roots. One is hydra, or water. To lose water is to dehydrate. So you may know if you get like a headache or something, or you're a little bit dizzy, you might be dehydrated. And that means that your body does not have enough water to function properly. Or the fear of water is hydrophobia. So hydra is water, and then phobia is the fear. So the fear of water. So hydrophobia or hydra is water. Cred, so C-R-E-D, cred, is to believe. So a document that proves a person's identity is a credential. So for me as a teacher, I have a teaching credential, which proves to the state that I am able to teach students. So that's credential. Another word for unbelievable is incredible. So something is amazing. That person threw an incredible touchdown. It was so unbelievable. So in is also a prefix that you may have heard before. So incredible. Auto means self. You might be confusing because why is there a picture of a car if auto means self, but we'll get to it. So a person's signature is an autograph. Auto means self, graph means to write. So a person's signature is an autograph. Self-propelled motor vehicle is an automobile. That's why the picture of the car there. So self-propelled motor vehicle is an automobile. So a lot of these, if you're reading, you may seem like, oh, these are so simple. I already know what an automobile is. I already know what an autograph is. Well, then you're already one step ahead for knowing what these Greek and Latin roots are. As you get older, you may discover words as you're reading that you don't know what they mean, but you might know what auto means, and so you know that means self. So then it will help you decode your words a little bit. So chron, time, C-H-R-O-N, chron. An illness that lasts for a long time, chronic. So if someone's super sick, chronic is another word, something that's going to last an extended period of time. Or an accurate clock, a chronometer. For me personally, if I was looking at this word, I would have no idea how to even begin on how to decode it. But since I know this root word, it might give me a little bit of a hint. If I was just reading this in a book, I'd be like, I don't know what this means. But then if you break it up, then you can help decode it a little bit more. Phon, P-H-O-N, or phon, sound. So a musical composition played by an orchestra is a symphony. P-H-O-N, symphony. And then a cone-shaped device that makes your voice louder is a megaphone. So phone, phonological, all these different words mean sound. You hear a symphony. The megaphone amplifies sound. Cent, C-E-N-T, is 100. So this isn't the scent like you smell. This is the cent with the C, not the S, for 100. So 1/100th of a meter is a centimeter. If you are an 8th grader, we just talked about this last week with finding different types of measurements. Centimeter was on there. It's smaller than a meter, and that's one of the things we worked on. So a centimeter. 100 years is a century. So you may heard of people say a decade, things like that. Those are all using Greek and Latin roots, but 100 is a century. 100 years is a century. Mort, M-O-R-T, equals death. That's why this picture is so dark and gloomy. Not subject to death, immortal. So if you're into sci-fi things, usually I'm like vampires, things like that. Some of these people are immortal, which means that they can't die. They just live on forever and ever. So im is also a prefix. That means the prefix comes before the word. So im means something different, so that we covered another day. But our prefixes is im, but mort is death. So not gonna die is immortal. A person who manages funerals is a mortician. So they handle once somebody dies, they deal with all the funeral setup, things like that. So they're a mortician. That's a career that people choose. They work in funeral homes, things like that. A mortician. Scribe means to write. So to write in a sloppy manner means to scribble. Also known as chicken scratch sometimes. So when you're writing super fast and it's super sloppy, some people will say that it looks like you're scribbling. So scribe, to write. So scribble. To put thoughts or speech into writing is to transcribe. So some people, this is actually a career that they have, is they are some people scribe. So if somebody is speaking and they want all their stuff written down, they will hire a scribe or somebody whose job it is to write and take notes for everything that they are saying. So a scribe. Mater or mater, however you say it, whichever one you prefer. So a mater equals mother. So it might seem a little weird that mother, it doesn't transcribe perfectly, but a school you graduate from is an alma mater. So basically, if you are an alma mater, it means that you are an alumni. So you graduated from this school, so you are essentially a mother of the other students there. You graduate, not necessarily a mother, but like you graduated, you're the older generation of the people that graduated from there. In a protective motherly way is a maternal. So some people will say that you have a maternal instinct, and that means that you have some kind of motherly instinct, things like that. So maternal, like you look out for younger children, you're protective of people, you want to take care of everyone. That's a maternal instinct. Okay. Gen, G-E-N, equals birth. All the people that were born around the same time is a generation. One of the big things right now is everyone says Gen Z, which is just Generation Z. There's a bunch of other nicknames for all the different generations. But people of the same generation are born around the same time. All right, a descendant of a person, progeny, right there, gen, birth. Pro is a prefix. The prefix comes before the word. So pro is the prefix, gen means birth, so a descendant of a person. Bio equals life. So they have a plant right there. The study of living things is called biology. As you go through school, you will study a subject called biology, and it will focus on, cells and if you're looking into plants, photosynthesis and things that how things live DNA, RNA, all those things that go into a living thing. But bio is life, and ology is the study of. So biology means the study of living things. The story of a writer's life is an autobiography. So if we go back a few slides, auto means self. Bio means life. Oops, let me see if I can go back. And keep going. So auto means self. So now you can take these root words and you can put them together, and you can kind of piece together a word if you didn't know what autobiography meant. Okay, and to spec is to see or look. So to look carefully means to inspect. In is also one of those prefix words, so it goes in front of the word. So spec is to see. So to look carefully, inspect. A member of the audience is called a spectator. So if you go to like a sporting event, like a baseball game, you are a spectator. You are watching the game from the audience, but you are looking and seeing the game. So now that this is over, we finished our whole slideshow. What you are going to do is you are going to then go to this Greek and Latin's root page. So since you've gone through the slideshow, you're going to work on this page. It's 2 pages. So Greek and Latin roots, you're going to fill in what all these roots mean. You can use the slideshow that we just did. There are 12 that we just did. And if you don't want to use the slideshow, you can look at right here. This will give you some hints. And then you are going to fill out the second page, which is the same Greek and Latin roots. So number 1, I have not had water all day. I feel so blank. And there are words down here that you are going to fill in to help you with those root words. So I've not had water all day. I feel so blank. You're going to find a word down here, which talks about water, things like that. 2, I was able to meet Taylor Swift backstage and I had to get her blank. So which word down here would be similar? If you met Taylor Swift, what would you want from Taylor Swift down here? And so 3, you're going to do all the way up until 12. You need to provide some type of blank in order to travel outside the country. You'll find it down here. So that is what you are doing for Tuesday. So you're going to finish watching this video, and then you're going to print or write on these, and then you are going to submit these worksheets onto Canvas, and then that is your ELA lesson for Tuesday.